Okay, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is my story about the government of Malta asking me to pay 1,400 euro for having returned from what is considered a dark red country. So recently, as you may know or may not know, I went to Nigeria for 10 days. I went to meet my family. It's been 5 years. I went to renew my passport. So upon arrival, I was told that I will have to pay 1,400 euros to quarantine, and I cannot quarantine in my home. It has to be where the government wants me to quarantine, and it has to be 100 euro per night for 14 days. I said, but I have all the documents. I am vaccinated. I did my PCR, which is 72-hour valid, and they told me no, I'm coming from a dark red country. This law will mostly affect people that are from these countries. So I thought this didn't apply to me, and the airport, I was telling them, sorry, I live here, and I have a place that I can quarantine if I have to quarantine. I am fully vaccinated. I have the certificate. This is the reason why I actually thought it was okay, that's because I'm vaccinated here in Malta. And they told me no, it doesn't count even if you are vaccinated, even if you have a PCR test. So, and as this went on, I realized I'm not the only one. They kept us in one room and be like, you have to figure it out. So it's either you stay and pay that amount of money, or you'll have to book a flight back to where you're coming from, or book a flight to a country that you'll have to stay there for 14 days before returning, coming back to Malta. From Italy, for example, that he flew down to Malta. I don't think he lives here, but he's vaccinated and he has a certificate. However, this certificate is not yet 2 weeks old. So the last dose he took of the vaccine was not, it's not 2 weeks, hadn't expired before coming to Malta, and they told him he had to quarantine or he had to go back, and he opted to buy a ticket there and there at the airport and waited for his flight to pick the flight back to Italy. I was telling them that I cannot afford this too much to fork out 1,400 for 2 weeks when I have to pay my own place, or when I have a place where I can quarantine. There's a Malta International website that said that if you're a resident, it doesn't apply to you. And he saw it. I pulled it up from the website. He said, well, this is misleading. I'll have to bring it up to them, but still he will not budge. He said I should have looked at the Ministry of Health website, not the point of entry to the country, which is the Malta International Airport, that I shouldn't have looked at that website. So he told me, I can show you. I've sent them a WhatsApp message. Look at it, telling them it's actually misleading. Why did they put up that information when it's not correct? None of my explanation telling them of nothing was gonna work. I saw other people complaining as well. There was this man and his mom. His mom is a bit older, and he was asking me, so why are you here? What's the problem? I said, I cannot afford this money. I actually live in Malta. And he said him too, he can't afford to pay that 1,400. Kept talking to them, and there were other people as well. Some people were able to pay. Some people stood up to pay the money so that they can carry on, whether with their holiday or I don't know what. Before I know it, I saw this man that is with his mom. He stood up and they were telling him to go. I knew for a fact that this man was not paying that 1,400. I mean, the way he actually stood up, I'm sure he wasn't paying this. I wheeled my luggage to where my mom was, and I told her to come get some of the stuff before they go bad. So then I addressed this man again. This wear green fluorescent top, something environmental health is written on there, green fluorescent top. So I told him that he had been unfair to me, because this man and his mom that were here with me a while back, he definitely sent them home to quarantine. He did something for them. They didn't just stand up to go pay that 1,400 euros. I wasn't sure exactly what it was. He was like, is it the mother with her daughter I said, no, it's a man with his mom. He's like, no, I didn't send them home. I promise you, I didn't send them home. What I did for them was I told them they can quarantine 3 people so that they can split the bill. So now that's when he revealed that part to me. All this while, I've been at the airport, been traveling hours. I did a transit in Turkey. I was coming from Nigeria. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And he didn't offer me to share, to split the bill with other people. They've been telling me I will have to fork out 1,400 euros. So that's when he now said, what I can do for you is you share with someone. If there's someone that is now... In this meantime, a lot of planes have been landing, going their different ways. Some people have been paying themselves. They could afford that, and that's good for them. So that's when I said, okay, I'll take that option. If I'm willing to wait, maybe someone will show up and is happy to share. Girls are happy to share with me. He's okay with that. They took me to a different place to sit, to wait. I finally then saw one lady that said she's from Pakistan. She's just arrived from Pakistan, and she was also complaining that she couldn't pay that money. And I kind of signaled to her to come over. Let me tell her if she's going to be interested in this, and she said yes. And I told the girl that we were handed over to, I told her I would preferably, I would like 2 more people to be with us, because that was the agreement, that we can be 3 or even 4. And she's like, she spoke to the hotel. The hotel said they don't have space for 3 or 4 people in a room. The only space they have currently is for 2 people. And she doesn't want us to keep staying here. She wants us to keep going. The van is out there waiting for us to shuffle us from the airport to the hotel. And off we went. And so that meant they wanted to make us pay. Obviously, since the rate is going at 100 euro per night, then that means we'll have to share it by 2 instead of by 4, which I still think is very expensive, but much better than the 1,400. So we arrived at the airport. I had only 100 euros. I paid at the reception because they were saying you have to pay now, you have to pay now. Then I'll probably tell my mom at some point to bring me some more cash to pay. And he said, when is she coming? I said, well, I have to first speak with her to see when she can come, and then I'll let you know, because he already seemed like he's very pushy at this point. We were shown our room. This is when I knew this is actually not 100 euro worth per night hotel room to stay. I could tell this is a place where they're just trying to make money off of people that are just traveling. Said, okay, my mom will come with 300 euros the coming day, and then I will let you know when I can pay the rest. So that would have made it 400 in total, then 300 balance that I have to give them. So, something I realized was, how come they're fine with me sharing or anyone sharing with a total stranger that I don't know? So this lady, there's nothing wrong with her, but I'm just saying the fact that they are happy that we would share the same place without knowing each other, whether I have COVID, transfer it to her, or she has transferred it to me, that's not their concern. Is as long as they put us together and we pay the money, and we could have been 4 in this room. They were okay with it. There are 4 people up there paying 400 euro each, and they are overcharging those ones because they're paying 1,600, not 1,400. Anyway, that's besides the point. The second day, I gave him his 300 euro balance, and then he's asking again, when am I paying the balance? I said, I don't have money to pay the remaining 300 euros. I can't afford to pay it. And he said, oh, that's gonna be a problem. I need your ID cards. The same thing my roommate said as well, that she cannot afford. And I gave him ID card. He took pictures of it, and he said he's gonna get back to us. He got back again. He said he contacted the Malta Tourism Authority. So there's a lady now called Karina on the phone, and she was telling us that, oh, you'll have to pay up. And I brought up the fact that initially we requested that we need to have at least 1 or 2 more people so that we can share the bill. And they said they were going to get. This lady agreed that, oh no, that's not a problem.
I have spent lot of monies. No, the people are not understanding.
But I said this was actually the agreement from the airport, but the girl that was attending to us said that the hotel said they didn't have space for 4 or 3 people, which is, and that's why we had to be 2 in the room. It's not because I would be happy to be 4 so that the bill would go down. And that was what the agreement was, and everybody said okay, because I knew that I couldn't afford to pay. Put me in a much cheaper hotel. That would have been no problem for me. Said, okay, this lady at the Malta Tourism Authority said they will pay the balance, the remaining 600, because it's 300 for me and 300 from my roommate. They will pay the remaining, and then eventually they will be taking us to court at some point. That was how we ended this, and I don't understand how you would encourage people to get vaccinated. I did PCR test before coming. I was negative. I did a PCR test 2 days into being in Malta, and it's also still negative, and they continue to still charge you, and they don't want you to go quarantine at home. So yeah, so this is my quarantine story. You guys let me know what you think about this, and this is my surprise quarantine. I didn't expect, I mean, I expected to quarantine, but I didn't expect to be paying this amount of money. Yeah, so I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Thank you guys for watching.